Shep, let's lead a prayer here. Go ahead.
All right, let's pray. Lord, just thank you this day. Thank you for another opportunity to learn. Just continue to bless our families, our businesses, our associates, Lord, and just bless the work of our hands, Lord, that you provide us in Christ's name.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Good deal, guys. So we got today we have lots of good stuff going on. First, we got the team leader, Joe Donovan, who if you guys haven't met him, Quintero, you should meet him at the office. Really good guy, a little bit moody, really knows what he's doing. And
he's in Columbus today.
Yeah, he's in Columbus today. First Zoom call he doesn't have. Yay, Big Joe.
What's up?
That's good. So we'll go. I want you to go ahead and start with your tell us what's going on with interest rates and everything, Joe.
All right. So right now all eyes are on Jackson Hole. The Fed is meeting currently. Honestly, the anticipation is not that the Fed will come out and say, hey, we're raising the prime rate by an eighth or a quarter. But what they are looking for is indicators on when the tapering will begin. So when do they plan on starting this? We all know right now projected it's going to be around the beginning of 2022. But there's a lot of pressure on the Federal Reserve right now to start increasing immediately because inflation is.
Put your phone on mute. Naomi, Jed, put your guys' phone on mute. Go ahead.
So obviously inflation is running red hot. So there's a lot of pressure on the Fed to start tapering immediately. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. A lot of people are calling this a black swan event. So I've been keeping a watchful eye on it. Some statistics, for your sellers and buyers. So between April 2020 to April 2021, there was a 53% decrease in inventory nationwide. We all felt this. It ran into this housing, all the craziness we've dealt with over the last year. Well, if you look over the last 2 months, inventory across the United States is up 23%. Last year, we saw national appreciation around 17%. That is tapering, and it's tapering pretty quickly. Now, we're not expecting a price correction. We're not expecting reductions in prices. What we are expecting is more normalization. And for these increases in housings to moderate. So they're expecting for 2021 right now, they're expecting appreciation will slow to right around 3%. So you still have a lot of, I'm dealing with them too. You still have a lot of sellers out there that think they're going to get 20,000 over asking and that the buyer is going to waive all their contingencies, and it's just not happening anymore. We're seeing a lot of buyer fatigue. They're just not willing to do it anymore. So if you have a seller and they truly want to sell their property, they need to come back to reality. Rates have remained relatively stable. You're still sitting at conventional loans are in the low threes, 3.125, 3.25. Your FHA and government loan, VA loans, you're sitting in that 2.875, 2.75 credit factor. So rates are still really good. But right now, economists are forecasting by the end of next year, by the end of 2021, we can anticipate a conventional loan interest rate is going to be somewhere in the range of 3.75 to 3.99. And that would mean those government loans would be somewhere in the range of 3.5 to 3.625. So almost a 1% increase in rates over the next year. So those that have been on the sidelines or maybe experienced some buyer's fatigue, inventory is increasing. Maybe it's time for them to look to get back on the market. The other indicator I'm watching is forbearance numbers. So only about 3.5% of loans are still actively in forbearance. Those forbearance plans are coming to an end. We are trying to work with every customer out there to find a way for this to work for everybody involved. But I'll tell you about 1% of that 3.5%, there's just not going to be a workout. Those people, the last thing the lender wants to do is foreclose. We are going to avoid foreclosure by all means possible. Now is a great time for those people to list their properties, capitalize on their equity, not have that dark stain on their credit, and able to move on and find a home that's more affordable or, become a tenant. So we're working through those. Just expect to continuously see more and more inventory come online because of those situations. I expect inventory to continue to improve. Just some sellers need to get their head out of the clouds. The fulcrum point for selling was actually in June. So June seen the highest sales, the most contracts over list. That has since moderated. I'll tell you, in the last 30 days, out of about 100 contracts, only one of them has been over list price. We're actually starting to see sellers paying closing costs again. So those that aren't, they're leaving themselves out. So the market is moderating. Just educate your consumers about the changes in the market.
Okay. Good. Hey guys, remember, put your when you log into this meeting, put yourself on mute so Joe can talk. All right, so that's all good news, Joe. Good deal, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right, good. So let's I know you guys got some dramatic text this morning, but Shep and me, we had to have Anthony running the ship last week, but Shep and me got to spend a week, which is pretty amazing. We're one of the best agents in the world. And he's a really good Christian guy. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk to you guys about, we picked about 30 points from him, but we're going to talk about like what we learned. So today we're going to try to cover at least 10 of them. But I'm going to ask Kentura, guess how much, let's see if you're listening. I told you guys this yesterday. He's in Nashville. He's got about 20 people on his team. How much money did I tell you he nets, Kentura?
I think you said 3 million.
Yeah, 3 million. So he nets. Can you repeat that amount?
3 million.
3 million. Okay. So you don't get there. So the first thing I noticed that what they work really hard on, Kentura, is on thinking big. Okay. And before our spot, thinking big might be like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but these guys are always just expanding their minds. Like they're always like in masterminds. They're always one of the things me and Shep didn't particularly like before this was Tony Robbins, but he's really big in Tony Robbins, and so is Greg Harrelson. So I think if people are that successful in it, we're going to try to there's Tony Robbins having an event like in November, Unleashing the Power. We're going to take like a group of our agents down there. So, but they're always really thinking big. I can't stress that enough. In fact, someone was, and I'll let Shep go next, but someone in like Bernie's mastermind, there's this guy, he's in his mastermind. He's about 74. And you think Bernie's doing pretty well. And this guy goes to Bernie, listen, Bernie, you're thinking too small. Your mindset's too small. So they always think big. And once you start thinking big and feeling, then, and your soul wants it, you kind of create like a roadmap to get to it. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like Kentura, he's probably been in real estate for how long is it? 20 years. So the first couple of years, maybe he was making a couple $100,000. I think when he got to like the $600,000, he was having a hard time like breaking through that. But he keeps working on his mindset, the processes. And then then once 1 million. So it's like working out. You bench and then you might hit like a limit where you can't do it for a couple months, but you don't just give up. You keep working on it and you keep trying to improve on it. So that's the first thing I got. Shep, all right, what's something else you got, Shep?
I remember Bernie, and Bernie's a big Mike Ferry guy. Bernie was out there in Vegas with us. And so a lot of the stuff we learned is a reinforcement on Mike Ferry. Bernie and Mike talk every week. So, just a couple of things that you already know, just to remind you, but, have your, set a goal and look at that goal regularly till it gets in your subconscious mind. And then you start taking actions for that goal. So also have minimum, Bernie has minimum standards. Yeah, his minimum standards for his agents are 24 a year. Okay. But have a minimum standard for yourself. I would say at least 12 would be a minimum standard, at least one per month. So anyway, have a goal. And like Alex said, you want to stretch yourself a little bit. Make that goal a little bit uncomfortable. That's how you grow. Okay. And that's thinking big. When you think big, you're going to be a little uncomfortable. That's a good sign. Okay. We talked about that. Obviously, Mike talks about the schedule. So his agents start early in the morning. They do role playing, kind of like we do here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They start early in the morning and with role playing, and then getting on the phones. Okay, and so that's one thing that they do, and that's a Mike Ferry thing. Alex, you noticed that? Didn't you about them?
Yeah. And the other thing too is, let me ask. We'll get Jed Harris involved here.
Okay.
Oh, see,
He's ready.
he's ready to go. Now, one of the things, give us your feedback on this. But like, one of the things is when you think big, you take risks too. You can't.
Sure.
It's all risk rewards consider. So he told me, Bernie, when me and Shep was like, he cleared 300. I mean, he's gonna clear 3 million this year. But one of the things he says, you can't be afraid to take risks. Like Bernie says, I'll still net 3 million, but I'll probably lose $300,000 this year on new ideas, new opportunities, new things.
New things that didn't work.
That didn't work.
Right. But the idea is, though, you have to take a risk, and he'll try lead generation that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And something like that. But then, hey, it's part of the cost of doing business. So, sometimes you gotta, as you've heard, you gotta spend money to make money. And so spend money, invest in some things and see if they work for you. Okay. So that's the idea there.
So that's Jed, what's your feedback about taking risks?
Well, as I heard you speak, can you hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. As I heard you say that, I thought about the founder of Aflac.
Yeah.
Him and his two brothers, they took a lot of risk, and some of the things didn't work out, but they were not discouraged, and they kept moving forward. And of course, eventually we know it did work out. So, it's taken, but I think we have to take calculated risk.
Yeah.
I think we have to,
Yeah.
I think there are risks, and then there are risks that we have to try to eliminate as many of the pitfalls as possible.
Right.
Yeah. But exactly.
But if we don't take risk, we won't grow.
Yeah. And exactly. And Bernie wasn't from Nashville. He moved from Nashville to from Vegas. Another thing I noticed him was that he doesn't sweat the small stuff. Okay. Let me ask Marianne. Marianne, can you hear me? Okay. Johnny. DeSarius, can you hear me? Yeah, you got it. All right. I don't expect you to get this right, but Mike Ferry says there's only 2 important things in your life. So don't sweat the small stuff. What are the 2 important dates in your life?
That's a tough question. That's a good one.
I can answer that.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
The day you were born, and then the day that you learned why you were born.
Yeah. Well, he says the day you were born and the day you die. Those are like the only 2, but Jed, you were on the right, I mean, that's the only thing that really should be stressing you out, right? Like anything else, I mean, we're only on this planet for one of Bernie's big mentors is like this guy who's worth about $300 million. His name is Robert Slack. You can look him up on Facebook. But he's a real estate guy. But he was like 63. He was bankrupt because he was like a farmer. It's very hard to have an individual farm these days if you're not like a big corporation. So he went bankrupt at 63, and now the now he's worth like 300 million. He's like 74. But Sam, you know what a piece of advice Robert Slack gave to Bernie? He said, the problem is all you folks think you have too much time. All you folks think you have time. And it's true because like, I think you have time. And I remember being like 15 years ago, what great shape I was and stuff. Man.
Yeah, he doesn't procrastinate at all.
So,
Right.
And then I'll do one more than like a Shep does it, but they think about what they can do and not what they can't do. You just got to think like, hey, Cantura, I'm going to make 30 calls today. I can do that. I have control over that. You don't need to be thinking about if you're going to get rejected or all this other stuff. You need to be positive about what you can think about. What else you got?
What you can do, so that's focusing. What are you good at too? Your strengths. What you can. Don't think about what you can do, not what you can't do. One thing that Bernie, obviously he's got a tremendous amount of lead generations. And we have quite a bit here also, and you guys are benefiting from that, getting those calls. One thing is they have a very, all those leads are valuable. You got to understand that. So they have a very detailed follow-up plan for those leads they get. And you need to be very systematic about the leads you get and how you're going to follow up with them. Okay. And Bernie, how many times does he contact those leads, Alex, did they say?
Well, I mean, he's got a whole system, so it's not like but yeah, I mean, they're your sphere. I mean, the worst feeling you can have is when your friend or your neighbor or someone that lists with someone else. And 80% of people actually like their agents. Only, what's the number? How many people use the same agent again? Cantura.
10%.
6%.
6%.
Why? Because the agent didn't keep up with them. So
and think about that detailed follow-up plan though. Again, write down when you're going to call them again. You can text them, put them on your newsletter. We talk a lot about you put them in your database and just keep up with them because you never know what's going to come from them. Alex talked about how he had a $600,000 buyer come from a 2 or 3 year drip. He'd forgotten about it. So put them on that follow-up. Just automate your follow-up if the lead goes cold. Okay. All right. So remember that data is very valuable. If you have 100 people in your database, you'll get 10 deals off of that. Okay. If you'll put them in there. Okay. So yeah, have a systematic follow-up plan. Actually, focus on income producing activities, right? With what are income producing activities? Calling around listings, calling for sale owners, calling your sphere. When you look at homes, door knocking, focus on those income producing activities and they're going to pay off. Okay.
Good. The other thing too is where's the serious? Okay. Naomi. Let's get Naomi involved in here. The other thing they do is they work really, really, really super hard on keeping negativity out of their business and out of their lives. Like Bernie had this story where there's like this really big agent, and Bernie's in Nashville, but this really big agent is in Washington, D.C. But he comes down to Bernie and he's like, my whole business is going bad. I need to come down here and change things up. And I need to come down here and change things up. And you need to help me, Bernie. And but the guy was like really negative. And then Bernie's like, listen, you're not coming to my business at all. I'm not taking your blank because your business is not the problem. You're the problem, and I don't want you floating around my office.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So, but then the guy did like the adjustment in his attitude, and he's going to make like $1 million this year. So, you got to work really hard to not watch the news, and you got to really keep good people around you because I got one. I don't know how to say this nicely, but you're only as good as the five most people you hang out with. Have you guys heard that before?
Yeah.
And then most people are kind of like, I don't want to say mediocre, but they're like average because why? They're not like, they're scared to take risks, but they don't want you going ahead either. So then they'll start like chirping at your ear too. And so like, you got to make sure, man. I remember Shep say like, you know what? We need to have transparency here. So like 12 years ago, I had a friend that was like real negative. His name was Sloan.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to get rid of you, man. I gave him a couple warnings and I was like, man, I can't take your negativity.
Yeah.
Like, he was a smart guy, but he always thinks like,
Yeah.
he was smarter than you were, but then he hadn't done anything. So I was like, Sloan, we're not gonna like, dude, it's over. Like, it's like a breakup. So,
So what Alex is really talking about is mindset, right?
yeah.
Another guy we met out there, an interesting guy from San Diego.
Oh my God.
This guy was big on mindset, and he made some very good points that I kind of took away. And so, you know, he begins his day with prayer and meditation to get himself and self-affirmation to get himself in the right frame of mind, and you have to do that in the morning. I'm telling you, you got to wake up at 4, 5, 6 a.m. and start this. Because, you know, you never know. You might have had a bad dream. You might wake up in a bad mood. You got to get yourself out of that and in the right mindset. But you got to do it every morning before you go to work.
Well, it's part of like that 5 a.m. club thing too. But what was the 5 things? We're going to send it out to him. You're supposed to do 5 things in the morning.
Well, he talked about 5 things you're great. Also practicing gratitude.
Yeah. I mean, gratitude was one of them. Shep, we'll come back to you. We should have been prepared for this one.
Affirmations.
Yeah, I think it was after the first couple. That was meditation.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you. But there was like a routine where he preps them up. It's like meditation for 10 minutes or like affirmations. We'll get it done.
Yeah, but remember that you gotta get up early in the morning and pray, meditate, think positively. Whatever you do, if you read the Bible, whatever, read something positive, and get yourself in a good mindset before you start your day at 7 or at 8 a.m.
All right, Naomi, you don't have to tell the name. In fact, if you want to, it's okay. No, but if you have I'm joking. If you have a real negative, if I tell you, is there a negative person that hangs out that you know? Yes or no?
No, I don't hang out with them anymore.
Okay, good, good. If there's a negative person, guys, is there a negative person that hangs out around you? You don't have to give me any names.
No, I've cut them off recently. I haven't spoken to them in so long.
Good. Look at that.
Let me just say this, Alex. My answers on the Instagram and upload it to Google Docs now.
Hey, Lily.
Right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we just heard you about your Google Docs, but now, like, tell us about, do you
One of
have any negative people around you or not? Do you have any negative people around you?
There are a lot around me, but I try my best not to be around them.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of them. We'll get your gift card to get rid of them.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
All
Alex.
right, that's a good positive.
I'll take your word. I want you to get rid of a negative person. It's like this. It's very easy, the conversation. You say, well, I don't want like a seem like it's a breakup. I'm gonna say, well, Shep, I like you a lot, but I'm trying to really grow as a human being, and I don't appreciate your negativity. So this thing can go either 2 ways. You can either grow with me, or we can just choose not to hang out anymore.
Yes.
Okay. So
Hey, Alex, I just wanted to make one
go
point,
ahead.
is that statistics show that 80% of a person's first thought is negative.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful of that to actually get ourselves in a good mood. And that's where the positive affirmations and the reinforcement helps, because automatically, just from human nature, our first thoughts are negative, and it's like 80%. So when you notice that, you can focus on it.
Yeah, I want you to do this, man. No, it works because it's really crazy. So 99% of your body is like is your subconscious is doing it. For example, you guys know I'm a terrible multitasker, right? Like I can barely talk and write. But right now my body's doing like 10,000 different things. It's like controlling the way my eye blinks, controlling my hands, controlling my heart, all this kind of stuff. So your subconscious mind is huge. And so like Kentura, what I want you to do, I bet it's gonna work. Every step you take, so you take 6,000 steps a day. Every step you take for the next like couple of days, I want you to say, I'm gonna get 2 listings. I'm gonna get 2 listings. So that thought's gonna be ingrained in your head 6,000 times a day. And I bet you're gonna get 2 listings, maybe 3. Try it.
I'll try it.
Try it. So work on negativity. Then also they have tremendous focus. They have tremendous focus on their goals, man. Like they have their goals over there, like written, visible, all kind of stuff. In fact, we're a little bit behind. I think some of you guys have given, like we have all your guys' goals on the spreadsheet. But we're gonna contact you guys this week and next week just to see where we're at, like at the halfway, or a little bit past the halfway mark, but just to see where we're at with them. Also, they accept that failure is a part of the business. Let me ask you a question, Kentura. Let's see if she knows your baseball. Actually, we need to pick on someone else. Who are we going to pick on, Shep?
How about who would know baseball? Maybe Larry Garrett? Maybe Larry?
Will.
Who's that?
I will.
Who knows?
What was that, Shep?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. But Larry, let me ask you a question. Like, for you to go to a Hall of Fame in baseball, what do you have to what do you have to hit to go batting average for you to go to the Hall of Fame in baseball?
It's 400, isn't it?
No, 400 is the best ever. One person did it. Usually, if you have a lifetime batting average of like 330 or 320, you get put in the Hall of Fame. Did you hear that? So 320. So if someone just hits the ball 1 out of every 3 times in baseball, they're in the Hall of Fame with the best. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
I'm not. Yeah, sorry. I know you do, Larry, because you have a lot of life experience. Larry was like a first sergeant in the Air Force and that kind of stuff. So 1 out of 3. So these guys know that failure is part of the game. So they know, like a good listing agent gets a really good one, gets about 70% of their listings every time. So they know what? They know they're not going to get it 30% of the time, but they're okay with it. They know
the process.
They know it's part of the process.
Yeah.
Then the next one is, and this is probably one that I could work on. I think Shep naturally does this better, but they exercise a high level of daily discipline. Like what's an expression like let me get, so John DeSerious, like there's a saying, you win the morning, you win the day. Because like if you get enough of the morning, you do your prospecting in and think you win the rest of the day. So if you
own in the morning.
Yeah.
On in the morning. That's what I'm working on. I have the worst time.
I know, it's okay. It's okay. We just got to work on it because the morning sets like the standard for the rest of the day. And then to be honest, the rest of your day, you can't really do anything because you're like taking on fire. So, but Bernie wakes up even every night, man, this guy has so much energy. It made me and Shep look bad. Like, so he'd be teaching the classes and then we'd see him talking to his agents and everything. And then he'd be hanging out with us at night, but he still went to the gym every day at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Discipline, daily discipline. Yeah.
Like 5, he'd be out. Sometimes we'd be out till 11:30, 12, and it's still like clockwork, 5 o'clock. And then and then the last thing, and then we're going to cover this for like 2 more sessions. But the last thing is they're okay with taking a no because they know a no will turn into a yes. A lot of today's society is like a reflex now. You'll say no people just say no to you because they don't want to be sold anything. They're getting bombarded by stuff. So it's okay to take a no, because once they actually get to know you and hear what you're saying, it'll turn into a yes. But people get bombarded by so many sales calls, like even my cell phone, everything, that you're automatically just say no. So that's the what we got. So we're gonna do this for like few more weeks because we got so much awesome information out. And then so what I want you guys to do is work on your mindset. We're gonna give away some prizes right now, so we can't like so let me go to Cody. Cody's in special operations, one of our agents. He's actually working right now. I don't want to bother him. Let me see.
Carrie, how about Carrie?
Carrie,
It's
how much?
I'm good.
Oh, Cody's here.
Cody, how much money did I say? Bernie's going to make 3 million this year, but how much money did I say that he takes risks? How much money did I say he'll lose trying out different ideas and that kind of stuff, Cody?
He will lose 300,000.
300,000, man.
Yeah.
Think about that. And he's still going to net 3 million. So that's just the power. You can't be afraid. Shep, ask him another
That's it. Let me see.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, so Cody, you already got some socks yesterday, but we'll give you some more socks. You got those stylish C21 socks. Contour, everybody
Love
wants
those socks.
those. Yeah.
What is our company standard? We talked a little bit about it. We're going to talk about it more. What is the company standard, a minimum company standard of deals we would like y'all to do per year? Who is we're going to talk more about this, but what we find is if you set your expectations higher, you'll do better. So we're going to try to do that to help y'all do better. So what's our company standard of deals per year? It's the same. It's the same as number of listings per month. It would equate to the same number of listings per month. They would know what that is.
All right.
12.
12. That's right. And y'all can do 12. And some of y'all can do 24. Some can do 36. Some can do 40. Some of you can take on teammates and do more than that. So, but I think if you'll all apply these principles, 12 will be. You can definitely do 12. Some of these so I would say if you make 4 or 5 calls a day, you can do 12. Okay. So we know y'all can do that, and we're here to encourage y'all to get there. Okay. So any other prizes, Alex?
No, so that's one. We'll give one more for a C21 polo shirt. What's a good one? What time does Bernie wake up in the morning to go to the gym?
5 a.m.
5 o'clock. Perfect.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
So remember we talked about starting your day. Have a
Discipline.
routine. Discipline. Start your day at the same time every morning
Perfect. All right, guys. It was good meeting, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, everybody.